Construction by Prophet in 622 CE. When Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, wished to acquire a land for the purposes of erecting a mosque in Medina, the two young brothers, Sal and Suhail, came to the Prophet and offered their land to him as a gift. The Prophet insisted on paying a price for the land, because they were orphan children. However, the price was paid by Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, who thus became the donor of al-Masjid An Nabawi on behalf of or in favor of Muhammad, peace be upon him. The original mosque was 35 meters long and 30 meters wide. For the roofing, palm leaves were used, and trunks of palm trees as columns. In its early days, the mosque's floor was not covered with anything until in 624 CE, when it was covered with pebbles. Expansion by Prophet in 629 CE. First expansion of Prophet Mosque took place right after the Battle of Kaaba. Width was increased by 20 meters, and the length by 15 meters. The new dimensions became 50 by 50 meters. The foundation was laid with stones, and the walls were built of unbaked mud bricks like before. The columns were made of palm tree, and the roof was covered by branches of palm trees. The height of the roof was increased from 2.5 meters to 3.5 meters. Khalifa Osman paid for the land for this addition of the mosque. Expansion by Umar ibn al-Khattab in 639 CE. Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab was the first person to expand this mosque after the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in 639 CE, because people requested him to extend the mosque. Since the population of Muslims increased considerably, he extended the mosque by 5 meters to the south, 15 meters to the north, and 10 meters to the west. New dimensions of mosque thus became 70 by 60 meters. The roof was raised to 5.5 meters. Expansion by Osman ibn Affan in 653 CE. In 653 CE, Osman ibn Affan further extended the mosque by about 5 meters to south, by about 5 meters to north, and by about 5 meters westwards. It is interesting to note that the southern wall of the mosque is still at the same place today, and no extension was ever made in this direction since the time of Caliph Osman. The building was constructed with decorative stones, and lime mortar was used as construction material. The roof was made of teak wood. The columns were also made of decorative stones, and were hollow inside. Iron bars and molten lead was put inside the columns to reinforce them. Osman made a protective enclosure around the area, where he led the salat to avoid attack on him during the salat. At present, the Imam leads the salat from the same spot where Osman ibn Affan did. Expansion by WALEED bin Abdul Malik in 712 CE. In 712, WALEED bin Abdul Malik ordered Omar bin Abdul Aziz, the governor of Medina, to extend the mosque further. Abdul Aziz extended it about 10 meters to the west, and about 15 meters to the east. The building and the columns were reinforced with iron bars and molten lead. The roof was made of teak wood, and was raised to a height of 12.5 meters. This lower roof was covered by another roof to protect against severe weather. Marble slabs were fixed on the inner side of walls. These walls also had multicolored stones, and gold polish put on them at different spots. Gold polish was also put on the frames of the doors. Abdul Aziz was the one who built 4 minarets on the 4 corners of the mosque, and the new mosque had 20 doors. These construction activities took 3 years from 712 through 715. Fifth expansion in 785 CE. In 785, the mosque was extended in the northerly direction. The construction was supervised by Abdullah bin Asim bin Omar bin Abdul Aziz. During the Abbasid period, the ruler, al-Mahdi, also enlarged the masjid in 775 to 785 CE, by extending it further to the north, adding 20 additional doors. Expansions by Mamluk sultans through 1250 to 1481 CE. During the rule of the Mamluk Sultans, Al-Mansur Qalawun built a dome over the tomb of the Prophet in 1279 CE. This was the first time that a dome was erected. It was made of wood, and was colorless. Later it was painted white and blue. Another Mamluk Sultan, Al-Nasir Muhammad, rebuilt the fourth minaret, that had been destroyed earlier. Expansion by Sultan Abd al-Majid, in 1850. Sultan Abd al-Majid remodeled the entire masjid, enlarging it extensively, except the tomb of the Prophet, peace be upon him, the three mihrabs, the minbar, and the Suleymaniya minaret. The prayer hall to the south was doubled in width, and covered with small equal-sized domes. The only exceptions were the domes that cover the mihrab area, Bab al-Salam, and the tomb of the noble messenger. Sultan Abd al-Majid was so careful in the work. He undertook that he had an entire generation of Hufaz, prepared from a very young age, and trained by the best of craftsmen in the Islamic realm. First Saudi expansion in 1948. In 1948, Shah Abdulaziz Al Saud issued commission for the first Saudi expansion of the masjid, and in 1950 his son, Shah Saud bin Abdulaziz, laid the foundation stone. The whole project took about 5 years to complete, and doubled the area of the earlier Ottoman mosque. This expansion brought the total number of gates of masjid to 41, previous which was 11. In 1973, Shah Faisal commissioned the installation of shades. These semi-temporary shades were installed west of the mosque. These small roofs were installed in masjid, as a temporary measure until a more permanent solution could be found. Due to ever-increasing number of pilgrims to the Mosque of the Prophet, a very ambitious expansion project was launched under the auspices of Al-Malik Al-Fahad. Second Saudi expansion in 1988. During the second expansion, between 1984 and 1994, the mosque was hugely expanded by King Fahad. The mosque could accommodate more than 1 million worshippers at the busiest times. A unique feature of the expansion project was the development of the 27 main plazas. Each plaza is now capped by a state-of-the-art sliding dome, which can be rapidly opened or closed according to the weather. 6 new minarets were added to bring their total number to 10. Third Saudi expansion in 2012 CE. Malik Abdullah expansion will be the largest expansion in the history of the Prophet's Mosque. Started in late 2012, when King Abdullah laid the foundation stone to expand the mosque, so it would be able to accommodate 2 million worshippers once the project was completed.